okay for guys to partner? Good morning, Project Central. We all awake? No? Okay, we'll try to change that. All right. Well, my name is Batty, and I've lived in Arizona, well, almost all my life. But you don't have to be a native Arizonan to know that we constantly face water shortage issues. But are we also in the middle of an education drought? To illustrate my point, I'd like to share a story. I am the youngest of 5 siblings, and the oldest, there's a 13-year age gap. And we all went to the same small town, rural, public Arizona school. And for the most part, we had all the same teachers, even though there was a big age gap. The reason for that is those teachers stayed in that school for decades. They were part of the community, they were ingrained, they were well respected, and they didn't plan on going anywhere. Now fast forward a few years later, and I've got 6 kids of my own. All 6 of my kids go to that exact same rural Arizona public school. They do not share that same experience though. Every year there's a huge turnover. We have tons of new teachers coming in. And even though there's so many new teachers coming in constantly, there are still almost 3,000 empty teacher roles in our state. Now, of all of those positions that are filled, how many would you think are filled by somebody who is either undercertified or completely uncertified? Would you believe that it's almost half? So, I guess the question is, why are they leaving? Why can't we keep our teachers? Well, to be honest, some of them aren't very good, and they get fired, and that's okay. Some of them leave the profession altogether. But many of them are being recruited by other states. Now, Arizona is 44th in teacher pay, just across the board. But the number 1 through 10 states, guess what? They have teacher shortages too. Where do you think they fill their empty teacher roles? It's pretty easy for them to come to states like Arizona, offer more money, and take the cream of the crop. This happens every year. Now, I don't think that Arizona is about to just throw lots more money into our education system anytime soon. But all is not lost. There are some things we can do to hopefully keep some of our best teachers. One thing I believe would be effective is our teachers need freedom to innovate. Too often, a young, bright, creative teacher will go to administration and say, hey, I have this idea, something I want to try out with my students. Or, I heard about this program and I'd really like to initiate it in our school. And they're told immediately, you know, that sounds like a great idea, but we have our standards we have to fill, and we have the way we do things. Just go back, do things the way we need to, and don't worry about it. You hear this too much, and they get discouraged. Another thing we can do is something I call scratch the itch. If we do this, then we can help them grow and have better job satisfaction. And hopefully we can begin to ebb our education drought in Arizona. Thank you. Yeah.